got here is a Ruger 1022 that needs a makeover. As you can see, I've added a angled foregrip with a rail piece added on there. Added the high-vis fiber optic sights, front and rear, green in the back, red up front. And just a standard stock, the BX25 magazine. And what I'm going to show you in this video is how to paint multicam. We're going to do this up in a multicam pattern. So to start, we're going to have to mask off areas like the bolt. All this we don't want to get paint on, it'll interfere with things. And around the trigger grouping we don't want to mess up, gum up and all that stuff. So anything that you don't want, obviously the sights will cover front and rear. But everything else we'll spray with. So let me do the masking and I'll show you what I masked. Okay, so now we're all taped off. Got the trigger grouping completely taped off. Bolt handle, that's all. The ejection port's all taped off. Front, rear sights, and that's about it. Well, that's all that I care about. Anybody else, cover what you want. But painter's tape, non super sticky stuff that will peel right off. Great stuff, pretty cheap. Get a big roll of it. Tape everything off that you don't want covered, and next step, throw some primer on it. Okay, so first we're going to go with the primer, just primer gray, just to get everything starting at the same color. Then our next we're going to use is our main color, which is going to be the Krylon Camouflage Sand. If I can get that to focus on there for you. Anyways, it's called Sand. So we'll have that, and then this will be the white. The smallest bits that we actually do is the little dots on the multicam. Then our next biggest is going to be the brown. Same thing, Krylon Camouflage, and it's just called brown. And then our second biggest that will cover the main base coat will be this Army Green, and it's camouflage, and it's called Army Green. The sand and the Army Green will be our base coat. Our first set of camo pattern will be the brown, and then OD green, or this is called, Deep Forest Green is what this one is, and Rust-Oleum black, all of which are super flat. And then we'll finish and we'll coat it with a matte clear coat to coat and protect everything. And cheap way to go, turn your rifle from looking like this to something that'll stand out at the range, and should look pretty good. So here we go, got the primer gray on, get the fan going, cooling, drying her out. Basically you want to just coat everything, get everything starting at the same level, same color, and having the gray underneath will actually help brighten the base coat, the sand and the green. It'll give it a little bit better color. So once this dries, we'll go on to the base coat of sand. So now you got your base layer of sand on there, and once that dries, we'll do some marbling with the Army Green. So now it's marbled with the sand and the Army Green. It doesn't have any particular pattern, you just want to kind of blend them, not put any real pattern to it itself. And once that dries, we'll start putting on the actual camo patterns. So now that you got your paint on, you got it marbled, you got the Army Green and the tan on there, take and get file folders, cut them in half, and then cut out patterns on them. Obviously have 3 or 4 different sizes. The biggest ones are going to be your dark brown, as you can see here, the biggest patterns. Second biggest patterns are going to be the OD green or the Deep Forest Green. This is a little bit harder to see, so pattern. So cut those out, and then obviously the smallest ones will be your black spots and the white ones. And the white is going to be the least amount, black is going to be the second, and then gradually it's going to get more and more. So let's get that part going. So we got our brown on, our largest splotches, as you can see, kind of just don't overlap them, and just kind of put them on there and get them kind of coated so you can see them there. A little bit dark there, but anyways, that's the chocolate brown, or the dark brown. So now we added our dark green and some spots, kind of breaking up things. Got a couple up here. So dark green. Next we're gonna do our black and then white, and then clear coat. So now we added some black, little specks, not a whole lot, just a couple of little tiny blobs of it. And the final color, little blotches of off-white. You might use more of a yellow white than what I've got, but that's the one I like. I think it kind of adds some contrast, and I think it makes it look pop. It makes the colors pop a little bit, makes it look good. Anyways, that is a multi-cam paint job. Not 100%, but it's enough to make your gun stand out when you're out at the range. Or not stand out when you're out hunting or doing whatever. So just added the clear coat, coat it down, protects it, keeps everything protected. An extra layer to protect against scratches, that kind of stuff. And you know, multicam, just look at a actual pattern of multicam and, you know, do what you got to do and see what you can do to get it to work that way. I mean, you could use Duracoat and all that, but that stuff is quite expensive compared to just a bunch of rattle cans, and that way if anything happens to it, if it wears off, you can just quick touch it up and you're all set. I think I've done 3 full guns, a Savage 308, a Savage 22, and then this Ruger 1022, all with the same cans of multicam, and I still have leftovers, so if I had another gun to paint, I would. Anyways, there you have it. Thanks for watching. I'll get all this tape and stuff off and show you a final product. So here's the finished product. Ruger 1022 and multicam. Kind of unique looking. Kind of makes it a little bit fun since it's just a standard 1022. My wife has a brand new Ruger 1022 Takedown. She refuses to let me paint, so this will be the only one that gets painted. Obviously the sight is clean. The rear sight clean. The edges are painted. And then the bolt handle, all that. It's an aftermarket handle. And then, yeah. So, anyways, there it is. Kind of the way I do multicam. Hope that's helpful. Thanks for watching.